And welcome to BCB Live. We're just having a great conversation. A lot of building up going on here. Drive safe, Dave. Talk to me because you're my Washington guy here. First of all, we have the Biden or the U.S. We're saying, hey, you know what? For the Winter Olympics, we're not sending our diplomats.
We're not sending the diplomats. For us, usually Americans, we don't care. We didn't even know you sent diplomats.
Who watches it anyway? I mean, and you know what? Hey, here we go. Hey, you know what? It's COVID. You shouldn't probably go over there anyway right now.
Where there's 1.3 billion people? Yeah, okay.
So I'm just saying, drive safe, Dave. Is that really a statement? What does that even mean?
Well, I know at least the athletes get to play, but, in the Chinese culture, it's a little bit more of a deal when the officials don't meet and they do all this thing. It's a little bit different type deal. They're offended, by the way, and they said there would be repercussions of a great sort or something like that in their statement because the United States has insulted them in some way.
But I will say, when we talking about winter, we did have our first winter up in Minnesota this weekend, and boy howdy did we not do very well. So no fatalities. That's the good news.
Crashes.
No fatalities. 268 accidents, including I think 4 tractor trailers that had jackknifed inside of it as well. So a lot of activity. That is all up in Minnesota. And I want to say it was within a 12-hour
it was
period.
The first 18 hours without having snow on the road.
Snowfall and just rookie snow. Everybody gets out for the first time and realizes, oh, it's a little slippery.
And that's in Minnesota. All right?
Yeah,
that's Minnesota. So if that happens in Minnesota, we want to encourage you, the safety directors, especially if you're based out of Texas, Florida, and you have any snow, shut that fleet down because it will get nuts out there. And drive safe, we've talked about it here many times. It's not just the driver, it's all of the other people on the road as well.
Yeah, and everybody forgets. It's just like even when here in Texas, even when it rains, we forget how to slow down and we forget how to be careful. And then you put snow on the ground, you create a little bit slippery and darker conditions.
I have a little quiz for you.
Uh-oh.
All right? When approaching a construction zone, okay, you're in a construction zone as a truck driver, which of the following acts is okay to do?
I know this.
Here we go. Number 1, lean out the cab door. Number 2, put a bat in your hand. Give somebody a piece of your mind. Tap on the roof with that bat, the tire checker. Smash the car window. Curse out the driver. Or wear safety orange. Which of those should you do?
Wear safety orange.
You know what? And that's what happened in the land down under. You know what? So first of all, we have to make sure that we give this guy some credit. He had orange on. He was thinking safety was first, but it just didn't follow suit. Producer? Give him first his credit. He had his safety vest on.
Right, he did.
He was thinking safety when he left the yard. Probably did a good pre-trip, post-trip. Did everything he could possibly. And then came the traffic. Then came the construction zone. And if I remember right, that four-wheeler wasn't letting him in.
Okay, my question was that his tire thumper?
Yes. Yes. That's his tire thumper. And I think on that video, I think it was on Tik Tok or something, they have All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it's like cheering it up, and it just shows a guy getting mad, yelling, thumping out that window. What's the deal with the new TikToking going on? Smashing in doors?
Oh, the kicking in of the doors to a beat of a song, I think is what it is. But I tell you what, this right here is borderline home invasion, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that flies in Texas.
I don't think you don't do that in Texas.
You better be awfully quick. You better be awfully quick.
At my house, you better be quick.
And I'm not a TikToker, so I don't get that.
I'm just saying.
It does. I mean, back in my day, it was just ding dong ditch and ring the doorbell and take off.
Yep.
And hope and looking out the window, see if they catch you, if they're going to come out and chase you or anything. But that's all we did. And kids do that ding dong ditching today. They do that, and everybody has Ring. So it's not even. I mean, you don't get away with anything. They go and they look for the thing, they push it and run away. Meanwhile, you've already seen them. You know who it is. It's the kid next door.
Yeah, I'm not, and you don't go.
Yeah, you just don't go. It's no fun if nobody answers the door.
Yeah, oh, no, there's nobody there. I'm out.
COVID's for real right now. It's going around. And we had a dentist that tried to get away again. People will do anything to get away from these shots. They don't want the vaccine. And the dentist is in big trouble. I think this is in Italy or something like that. When he goes in with a fake arm, a silicone arm. And the person giving the shot catches onto it pretty quick. It doesn't feel the same. Anybody that's had Stretch Armstrong knows that you're not going to fool somebody with that. Do you remember Stretch Armstrong?
Of course I remember.
And here it is. The dentist he walks in there, gives her his arm, and she's probably like saying, "Hey, what am I gonna? I'll be right back. Just take my arm with you. It will stretch. Just take it with you." I'll just sit here and you go walk around the office.
How does he think that a medical professional is not going to identify that that's not, that it's not some kind of prosthesis out there? You can't pretty much do that. Get into the bloodstream. I don't know.
All right. And hey, we've been talking this week about lane changes, right? It is probably one of the most common accidents out there. While the statistics show they're not fatal, which just blows me away because I would think they are. But statistically, no, but still, they are very high in injuries, right, and medical lawsuits. So again, one of the things, which is kind of common sense, and I just want to maybe take time to explain it a little bit, but one of their best advice is don't make one, right? But here, we know that you got to make them at times. But the thing we want to ask you, why? Why are you making it? And most of the times, the lane change accidents, it always comes back to impatience, right? Driver was going too slow, and they just got in a hurry to get around them. It's okay to pass those people. We're not saying never make a lane change, but you want to be mindful of it and not make them frequently. It's just like the odds, right? The more lane changes you make, the odds of you having an accident go way up. And so you want to avoid them. And it really comes down to patience in a lot of cases. Now, sometimes you do need to move over because there's a merge point coming up, and you are creating a safer environment for that merge. But make sure that you do it slowly and patiently, not the quick one. Again, we're not saying never make a lane change. Just try to avoid the unnecessary ones, right? If you could just be a little bit more patient. In other words, if your exit's coming up in 2 miles, just sit there, right? There's no reason to risk an accident for 2 miles when you're going to be off of that highway or interstate as well. So again, don't make one. If you can avoid them, don't make them. Ask yourself why. We talk all the time about asking yourself these questions. Ask yourself why, and if the answer isn't a safe one, like merging or you've got a left exit up there, then maybe stay right where you're at. Hey, we got some videos that are going to show some really unbelievable things here again. Watch this truck in front, passes these 2-lane highways, and then they're going to pass in a no passing zone and a left turn lane. This car hauler just not, and you can see it pretty far away as well. So this wasn't going to be a quick pass. So it's just, you got to sit there. One of the statistics that I've discovered in that is the most fatal accidents happen right here on these rural highways, not the interstate as you might think, where the volume is. It's here because, and what we've seen in these videos on these 2-lane highways is the more risks seem to be taken out here because you just don't think nobody's out there. And so it's just a dangerous situation.
Yeah, now, we encourage you as a driver to get in that left lane pretty early, but we're not talking this kind, right? We're usually talking going up the highway. This is a 2-lane road in which you're in that left lane fairly early, real early, and you're just breaking the law this whole way down, and you just have to have some patience and maybe drive safe, Dave. They're just going out there just looking for traffic. Is there a car coming out? Am I ready to pass later on? I don't know what's in their mindset. We just want to make sure that, we have patience. We're doing the safest things out there.
Yeah, great job by this driver staying back.
Yeah, the whole reason this is a no passing zone is because there's an intersection up here that has had difficulty before in trying to create this intersection change, and you don't want somebody over here in the left lane. This looks like he's actually turning over to go left, but he's not. He's trying to pass. It makes it really dangerous. And these 2-lane roads out here, the reason they're so dangerous is the opportunity or the chance of a head-on collision is greater in these situations than in other situations, which is the most deadly collision that you can have, and that's the head-on collision. And that's the reason these 2 lanes, you have to be on your A game when you're out there all the time running on these 2-lane roads, because that's when people make a simple mistake. You know, if you have a small drift in the lane, even coming from the opposite direction, it can wreak havoc to you and if you're not paying attention to what's going on out there.
Next one again, tailgating, right? We've talked about it. You know, you've got to back off here. You have no picture. You cannot see, and then watch what happens. Able to stop, see the road, so good job there. But again, back off. Give yourself, we talk all the time, 1 to 2 seconds makes all the difference in the world. And again, right here, that shows, you know, because they started to move to the right, which, again, you know, that was a last-minute thing because they didn't think they could stop. And you've got to know that you can stop.
And you know you're too close because you get to 1,001, 1,000, and that's it.
Yes.
You know, that's all you're getting to, maybe the 1,000 mark, and you've got to be able to get 4 of those in. You know, and even if you got 3 in, you have twice as much space. You're too close. You have no idea on what's going on in front of this vehicle. You're driving behind what Drive Safe says, the billboard. You have no idea of the traffic ahead of this truck. You're too close.
You're too close.
And if you can't stop in time, again, that tells you you're too close. You've got to reduce your speed.
And again, you're going to see the same situation here. Slower speed, which is great. But again, a lot of things, you know, it was tailgating and then the quick lane change, right? Here, you've got this vehicle and then they stop. Hey, be patient, right? We're going to talk a little bit about this later on in the week with some stats and what to do when you're making a lane change. But again, starts to make it right as soon as this truck passes, and kind of even before a little bit there, you're already starting to get close to the crowd in that line, maybe even on it. Hey, just be patient, right? Looks like an exit here that we had to get to, right? Plan, know where these exits. The signs are well back there that, you know, this exit's coming up in a mile or so. Get over then.
So see, this truck's, he's merging on and what have you, but he can't see around this truck.
No.
Right? So he's going to try to merge on. He can't see around to look and find out if this lane's clear. We're coming out. We're leaving the lane, but I can't see because the truck's in the way. Is it clear? Is it clear? Now he sees that it's clear, so he's going to go up and pull in. It makes it difficult. You got to understand what are the other drivers going through too, not only in your change lane, but make sure that you let him in. If you would have let him in early, then you could have moved over.
All right, this next one, great job here. Speed and space, talk about it all the time, right? As I've done some things, space is the most critical thing, and you control that with your speed. 22 miles an hour, look at his space. I mean, there is just, this driver will be able to react to just about anything that could happen to him down on the roadway. So great job by this driver, really showing the epitome of what we talk about when we say manage that space in front of you.
Yep, 5 seconds, the difference.
Great job there. This next one, see if you can spot the not obvious drive safe, Dave. You know, the obvious is that truck never stopped at a 4-way stop. You got a flashing red light, all 4-way stop all the way around, right? And that truck coming on, man, intersections again, so dangerous. It just keeps running right through it. And boy, when I first watched the video, I thought it was going to roll over. It seemed like it leaned a little bit there, drive safe to me.
I'm not sure that the video of the came from stopped either.
Huh?
I'm not sure that the truck that the video came from stopped.
That was the not obvious. Thank you, sir, Rick. Yes, it was a rolling stop, folks. You got to come to, you just saw somebody run, and yet you don't come to that complete stop.
In fact, the only vehicle that came to a complete stop was the 4-wheeler, which is embarrassing.